Tamu tu.
And we're back. Welcome back to Matamu Vibes. And inshallah, it's your boy Rumak. And surprisingly, I am out of the country again. It happens. And coming to you from the warm heart of Africa, I am in Lilongwe with Berry Cooks, who is a fantastic food blogger. I'm going to leave links to her blog on the show notes, so please make sure you go and watch. She has some really interesting videos, and she cooks. She cooks on her videos. That's what I want to do in my next life. Not this life, my next life.
But your next life.
So, Chikoni, let's just go straight into it. And I want you to tell me, growing up, you're from
Malawi.
Yes. But you have really traveled a bit around.
Yeah.
So what's this one thing? Let's start with Malawi first.
Okay.
For your people, what's this one thing that you love to eat, but then no more quote unquote Malawians would be like, what is this one doing?
Well, I would like to think.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this thing that we call mpilu or dendera, right?
Okay.
Which is basically, it's like a spinach,
Yes.
but with crushed groundnuts.
Is there cream involved?
Not cream,
Okay.
but like it's like a spinach.
Mm-hmm.
Or the vegetable is like a spinach.
Mm-hmm.
So they cook it with crushed groundnuts.
Okay.
So that's where the otendela comes from.
Okay. What does
So
that
when
mean? I guess it's the groundnuts.
the otendela is usually the crushed groundnuts.
Oh,
When they
right.
cook a vegetable with the crushed groundnuts, they call it otendela.
Okay.
I don't
okay.
know how best I can continue to describe that.
You've done a very good job so far.
Yeah. So
Please keep
usually,
going.
in a normal circumstance, they would have it with like nsima.
Yes.
Nsima and then like, say, meat or something else, right?
Yes.
But this girl right here
Mm-hmm.
likes to have it with rice.
And I'm sure all of the Malawians listening to this are like,
They're probably cringing. They're probably cringing, but like I genuinely love it. Oof. Or sometimes futso otendela, which is basically a dried vegetable otendela with the crushed groundnuts, and
Okay.
that with rice and then beef.
Ooh.
Beef stew. To
Ooh.
be girl. Listen, that goes down and hits all the right spots.
But that's the thing I have realized with food and just talking to people around the continent, basically.
Yeah.
That yes, there's the standards, right? There's your nsima, which depending on where you are, south of the equator, it varies in degrees of hardness. There's those African staples, you can call them.
Yeah.
But everybody has a very different way of enjoying. Those of you who've listened to this podcast know that I have a specific love for chapati and buttermilk, aka maziwa mala.
Yo.
Everybody's just like, what do you mean? Listen, it works.
Oh my goodness. I'm assuming, okay, in Malawi we call it jambigo. So for my Malawian listeners,
yes,
he likes chapati with jambigo. Yeah, I know. I know.
There's a way, especially if you get the one that's a bit sour.
Yes.
The
sour one.
Oh Lord, and the chapati is hot. Oh my God.
Hot and soft.
I miss home.
Oh my goodness.
I miss home.
It just hit the right spots, didn't it?
Absolutely. It's a thing I'm gonna do when I get back home.
Yeah.
So let's talk Malawi food from a home context. What did you grow up eating?
So everything in general, or like
give it a name, please.
So actually recently I put up a post on my Instagram and I was asking my Instagram followers, I was like, it's 4 p.m. in 2006, what are you doing? And an interesting thing that kept on coming up
Yes.
was the 4 o'clock tea.
Aha. It's a thing.
It's a thing. So now, growing up, we had this thing where like, whenever it's 4 p.m., no matter where you are, you know it's 4 o'clock tea. But the thing about it is,
yes,
it wasn't always going to be tea.
Of course not.
That's one thing I loved about it. Like, you could literally come home and they're giving you chips and sobo. So sobo is this drink. It's a concentrated drink.
Yes.
We usually have here in Malawi. That we literally grew up on it.
Yes.
So
in Kenya it would be treetops.
Yeah. So they'll come give you sobo and chips. Another day it'll be custard. The other time it'll be porridge.
Ooh.
Yeah. Guys, porridge.
There was options.
Yeah, there was options for days. Or like they'll give you mandasi with like tea. Guys, 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock tea, you had to be there.
It was an institution.
It was listen, 4 o'clock tea. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
I love it. I want to say that Africa is a country because I did have a similar experience growing up.
Yeah.
And it really didn't matter if I was at home. Okay, but this is during the holidays, yeah? It didn't matter if I was at home, if I was at my grandma's, or if I was at my auntie's. 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
We never used to have watches on our arms, but
you
knew.
knew it's 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock.
You knew it's 4 o'clock.
Like even for us, you could be at your neighbors playing and they call you, Chico, auntie. You know what's up. You know what's about to go down.
Even if you're just about to score that goal, you'll be like, bye guys.
They won't tell you what it is, but you know it's 4 o'clock.
You know exactly what's going to happen.
I'm about to go and eat.
I remember when we were kids growing up at my auntie's place, and we'd be running about on bicycles the whole afternoon, and 4 o'clock would reach, we would rush to the house. Our excuse was that we didn't want to miss cartoons, right? There was a specific cartoon that used to come on at 4 p.m. So we really liked it. So that was our excuse, right?
Yeah.
But everybody else knew that it is time.
It is time.
And I remember that's when I got a love of maize meal porridge, because they had a chef.
Yeah.
My auntie had a chef, and this guy, to this day, I still don't know what he used to put in his porridge, because there would always be maize meal and millet. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So everybody else would go to the millet because that's like what we're used to.
Yeah.
But I would run for the maize meal because there was something, I don't know if it's butter, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't understand, but it was so good.
Even if you try to recreate it yourself.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's actually impossible. I've tried.
Yeah. But it's so interesting that you have that memory to hold on to. That, listen, there was a time I had this porridge and it slapped harder.
It slapped.
That's really cool.
When I was in high school, 4 p.m. they would give us black tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was in this really, I wanted to call it bad, but it's circumstances. My high school was a bit difficult. There were a lot of kids, right? Average student population was around 4,000.
Yeah.
So they really couldn't give you anything fancy. It was literal black tea with a bunch of sugar, just because you're young people, you need the energy.
You need the energy.
So now 4 p.m. tea became our flex season. So if you had a little bit of money, you would go and get either mandazi or the ones who had money.
4 o'clock tea.
Listen. The ones who had money would go and buy a quarter loaf of bread, which was like block bread, it's not sliced. And then you split it in the middle and you put in a mandazi.
Wow, you're going to have bread and mandazi?
Yeah, because you can.
Okay,
it's
but
flex
then
season.
let me ask you this.
Yes.
I know that with Zambians, if I'm not mistaken, either Zambians or Zimbabweans, what we call mandasi and what they call mandasi is different.
Yeah.
So now I just want to have an understanding. What's your mandasi?
The standard. It's a standard, triangles puffed by frying.
Yeah.
So
okay,
they're not...
so you guys, they shape them into triangles.
Yes.
Nice.
So
we usually have them, they're like round balls. So you can have it in two ways. You can either make it with yeast, so now it's like fluffy, or not yeast, you use baking flour, and now
so
it's almost
dense.
like a dense, cakey.
Yes.
Sort of, but it's deep fried.
Yes.
Okay.
So we call those ones half cake. Yes. So that's the difference.
That's the difference. Okay.
In my high school, we would call them skadi. I don't know where that name came from. I found it and I left it there.
You don't even want to try to get
I'm
into
not even
it.
going to. And as an indicator of inflation, when I joined high school, one skadi was 5 shillings, 5 Kenyan shillings,
okay.
right? When I left high school, one skadi was 15 Kenyan shillings over a period of 4 years. And same deal when I used to have an old car. I love old cars. So I used to go to the garage a lot. The half cake was our standard meal for the day because garage days are days you're going to spend money, so you're broke.
Yeah.
So you go and you get a half cake, you get a Coca-Cola, and that's it for the day.
You call it a day.
That thing sits in your stomach.
Yeah.
It's
you're
like
good
a
to
weight. So now, half cakes have a nickname called KDF.
Okay.
So KDF is the Kenya Defense Forces, right?
Wow.
mostly because
that once you have that,
it's
you're good.
You're good.
You're good to
it's
go.
A
You're
strong
standing
force.
strong. You're standing strong for a very long time.
So when the first time I took my old car to the garage, okay, not that old car, but a different old car, a KDF was 10 shillings, and the soda was 20 shillings.
Okay.
So with a good 30 shillings, you're sorted out for the whole day.
Yeah.
When I sold that old car, a KDF was 15 shillings and a soda was 35 shillings. Inflation, my friend.
No, that's a big jump.
It jumps, and it's so interesting. Like it's in the small things that the inflation comes. It's not really,
it's not
the TVs and the sofa sets.
It's in the
tiny things,
little things.
And the West Africans, we are talking about puff puff and chin chin. Yeah,
I was about to say that in Nigeria, Cameroon, them guys, they probably call it puff puff.
Yes,
from what I remember.
Yes, so that's what we're talking about, West Africans. So now you're on the boat. You've
caught up with us.
So, traveling. What's that one thing you miss when you go out of the country?
Miss from home. Ooh, in terms of food.
Yes.
Ooh, rice. Let me tell you. Have you ever had? Obviously, you've been here for a while now. I'm sure you've tried our Kilombero rice.
No, I haven't. Okay, I don't know if I have, but like nobody has told me this is the one.
Is Kilombero rice.
Yeah. Maybe I have. Probably,
yeah, perhaps. But like, I'm sorry to say this, the rice in South Africa really sucks.
That's the truth.
It sucks so much.
It's so terrible.
It's so terrible. Doesn't have taste. Doesn't have that nice aroma. It's bad. So now, I lived in South Africa for about like 5 years.
Okay.
And like, I remember when I was going, my mom was like, "Girl, you need to pack some rice because you're gonna miss it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she literally packed it for me. She said, "Baby girl." Baby girl. And like, from here you see these adverts that advertising tastic, you think it's really cool because I usually don't have that. The advertising speckle, it looks cute. You're like, okay, I'm gonna come on. But yeah, so something that I definitely miss when I travel is the rice.
That's so interesting because like half my
Kilombero
colleagues,
rice, to be specific.
half my colleagues are here like, when are you coming back? Can you carry for me some rice? I'm like, you guys,
For
don't you
real.
have rice?
Yeah, rice. The Malawian rice. Mwah.
Okay, I will pay special attention because I think I've been eating sima for like the past couple of days because I actually really enjoy how Malawians make sima.
Yeah.
But it's something that I have noticed that literally the further south from the equator you get, the softer the sima gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like in Kenya, we like it stiff. That's what she said.
Wow.
Sorry, I am back. So in Kenya, we like it's moldable.
Yeah.
And it holds the shape, right? You come a bit south to Tanzania, it starts to get a little softer. But it's still moldable, right?
Yeah.
And you come to Malawi and you're just in the right spot for me.
Yeah.
Like it's not
porridge.
too soft to be a porridge, but it's also not too
hard.
stiff.
It's
just
in the middle.
It's in the Goldilocks zone, right? Just enough. And then you find something in South Africa. My God.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
The pop.
The pop.
Yay.
Yo.
Yeah.
It's literally just one step up from, okay, South Africans, I love you. But
We love you.
It's literally just one step up from porridge. It's like you left the porridge on for too long.
I hear you. And have you noticed with like, okay, one thing I did notice, it's almost like the millie meal was pre-cooked. Okay, that's how it almost felt like.
It actually is pre-cooked.
Yeah?
Yeah. It actually is pre-cooked to some extent. Like it's like the parboiled rice that the Arabs love.
Yeah.
It's like they parboil their flour and then dry it and then
no.
It's impossible to get it to get stiff. It's
you
impossible.
know what I mean? Because it's
It's so weird.
It makes sense now that it's pre-cooked because I was always like, something
There's
is
something
not,
wrong here.
You know, something here.
But you'll always find them. I enjoy going to braais when I'm in South Africa.
Oh,
because there's a way that South Africans make meat that no barre. Listen,
nobody can hit it as hard as they do.
Those guys. I love it. So now, just bringing it down to a close. What's a weird food that you ate and enjoyed when you were out? Whatever. It doesn't need to be South Africa. Like just out of Malawi.
It's gonna be something really simple, right? Oh my gosh! So I recently traveled to Dubai.
Okay.
And like the person I was visiting, my boyfriend. He would always tell me.
Continues.
Yeah, he would always tell me, oh, like after he gets his haircut, he would always tell me, oh, I just had a shawarma. And like, I was like, okay, when I come to visit, I want a shawarma.
Oh, I want to know what this shawarma is.
I want to know about it because, like, how can you talk literally? And
that's all he was.
There was a certain point where, like, every Sunday he's telling me about a shawarma. Oh, I just got a shawarma, and it's something so simple, right? And like, I had this shawarma. It was so good.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good. I know it's something so simple, but it's like it's very different because, like, here in M-Dubs, we have a couple shawarma spots, but I don't think they do it as correctly as they do. Because it's a proper shawarma, eh?
So
even like the chapati is different.
Yes.
The meat inside is different. The sauces they use is just it's something so simple, but it's like, oh wow, it's a shawarma.
No, I understand
so
because there's the Middle Eastern way of making a shawarma. Even how they treat the bread is very, very different from how, because that's will just chapati base.
Yeah.
But for them, the bread it's different. It's not, you don't make it thick. It's thin, but it's not too thick.
It's
It's
something.
not too thin. It can carry its own weight.
Yeah.
Then the use of it's called I've forgotten the name, but like there's a yogurt, a Middle Eastern yogurt that they use for the sauce.
For the sauce, yeah. Which made the sauce a little extra ish.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
It could be something you could bring back.
No, for sure. For sure.
I think for me it was recently I was in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And I'd heard about so they do the raw meat, right? With a bunch of berbere.
Yeah.
And you eat it like that, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I had always told myself, no, I'll try it once. Then the day came. And it was there. And I was like, okay. I told myself I will have to try it. So it's like a steak tartare that's been minced up, right?
Yeah.
And I tried it and it was actually really good.
Yeah.
Okay, I was scared because, foodborne illnesses. But I was like, okay, this is actually something I could get into. If it wasn't for the amount of berbere that they put in that thing, it's too much. It's too spicy. I cannot deal.
Oh yeah. Fun fact:
deal.
your boy here doesn't like spice
At all.
Your boy here does not do chili.
No, anybody who's listened to this podcast knows that.
We don't do chili over here.
We don't do that here. All right, and now this is the place where you can speak about what you do.
Oh my! What I do? Yeah.
So tell us about your food vlog. Why did you start your food vlog?
Actually, so how it started was, I've always liked food. I've always liked cooking and cooking for people that I love.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So for me, it's I'm gonna make this meal for you. And what makes me happy is literally you eating and loving the food.
Nice.
It just makes me so happy.
I hear you.
So I used to have like a couple of people asking me that, why don't you like post your recipes? It took me a while to do that.
Of course.
But I was like, okay. So it started off as just literally me posting a couple of posting what I'm doing when I'm cooking something. Then on my status, my WhatsApp status. And I found that people really enjoyed that. So I was like, oh, okay. And this friend of mine, shout out to Maddie, love you so much.
Shout out.
She literally kept on pushing me. You should start a YouTube channel. And I wasn't very sure about YouTube. So she was like, okay, you can maybe soft launch yourself and get into like Instagram. So I was like, okay, I think I can handle Instagram. But like for the longest time, I still wasn't ready.
Of course. You're never ready. Even when you start, you're never ready.
Yeah, even when you start, you're not ready. And there was literally this one day I woke up and I was like, it's time. Let me just, I'm going to take the content.
Okay.
So I made content and I didn't like it.
I like it.
I didn't like it.
It's like the eternal creator struggle. The first thing you do is like, oh my God, it's so bad.
Yeah, like I was cringing. I was like, nah. I didn't like it. But I ended up taking a picture of the food. So I took a picture of the food and I was like, okay. At this point, I didn't even have a name for what I was going to call it. Yeah. Then I was trying to play around with maybe my name and whatever. Then Berry Cooks was born because it's Chico Berry.
Yes.
Then Berry Cooks.
Okay.
So that's how we ended up there. And then I posted that picture. The picture of the final, but not the process.
But not the process.
Yeah. And then for a while, I would take videos of the process and again still post it on my WhatsApp because I guess that's what I was comfortable with.
Yes.
And then just a picture on Instagram. So it's interesting to see the amount of people that are out there actually just watching you, watching what you're doing. It's only I think about a year later.
Okay.
When I started selling the food.
Nice.
Yeah. So how I got into that was this old friend of mine reached out to me and said, hey, I'm trying to lose weight, but I don't always have the time to cook. But I know that if I'm trying to lose this weight, I need a home-cooked meal.
Yes.
So could you please cook for me? I know that you're really good at cooking. I've seen your content. Cook for me, I'll pay you. I'll pay for the food. Or I'll buy the ingredients, just cook for me. So I was like, okay.
No, I love that you didn't shirk away from it and say, no, I can't do it.
Yeah. I was like, okay. And the best part is I already had a logo from the blog. The Instagram.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, actually, let me just try and see where this takes me. I made him a meal. I printed out my logo. I bought some what do you call this? Some nice takeaway.
Nice
stuff.
Nice, yeah.
And I pasted my
logo
on it. I took pictures, posted his reaction and response. Literally the next day, I got so many orders.
Oh wow!
And I was like, whoop!
Yeah.
And whoop!
I like it.
And literally, this was just for me trying. It wasn't even like a proper plan or whatever. And then so that turned into a business for a while. And then I had to go back to school, so that had to be shut down a little bit.
Oh man!
So when we went back to school, trying to juggle, because this happened during the COVID time. So I'd come back home.
Okay.
For a bit. And then when I went back, it was like me trying to juggle school and selling food and making content. It just wasn't working.
Yeah, it becomes too much.
Something had to suffer.
For sure.
So obviously school wasn't going to suffer.
Of course
Ain't no
not.
way.
There's no way.
Ain't no way. So I stuck to, whenever I had the time, I would shoot content of the food. But to commit to selling food, that was tough.
It's hard.
It was tough. Especially if I want to give you something good. You get what I mean? I need to give you a good product, fresh product for you to enjoy and devour the meal.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then now when I came back, I got a job. And
as we all have to do because adulting,
because adulting. So now it's like, I can't.
It's impossible. Yeah.
So, we just stick to posting recipes and a few videos here and there where I do cook with me. So I will have a guest on it and we cook together. And
okay,
that's
pretty
my
cool.
Little story.
So I will leave links to Berry Cook's Instagram page in the show notes. So please go and give us some love. Follow. If you're in Lilongwe, please.
Oh man, I just remembered something.
Yes.
I don't remember the actual question, but you're asking me about food that I will remember, or always remember, or something like that.
Yes. What's the food that
Listen. I just remembered.
It lives rent-free in your brain.
A bunny chow.
Oh!
No, not a bunny chow. The friend, a quarter. Friend. Oh my God. When I was in uni, I had this friend. He was a classmate. He used to sell quarters. Oh my God, those quarters. I'll never forget.
Ever?
I will never forget. They were so good.
No, there's something about white bread and anything saucy. There's just something about it. I've never understood.
It was so good.
It works.
And now when you were talking about you stuffing a mandasi.
Yes, in the bread.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was actually when you were talking about the quarter of the bread.
Yes.
I was like, this reminds me of something.
Yes.
Something. But now you're putting mandasi. That's a you problem. Yo.
It's fine.
But the quarters there by South Africa. Mwah.
Oh, those are beautiful things. I think
that was really good.
I got my first actual quarter earlier this year in Cape Town, home of.
Yeah.
And I was literally blown away.
Literally. It's very affordable.
Yes.
But it fills you up. And
very
after
quickly.
you finish, you just want to take a nap.
Yeah.
Because the
itis. It checks in immediately.
Do you really think I'm going to move?
No.
It's so good. It's so good. It ticks all the right boxes.
Absolutely. All right. And that is it for this episode of Matamu Vibes. And inshallah, we're just vibing and inshallah as always. It's been your boy Rumak. And please, again, make sure that you go to Berry Cook's Instagram page. Give her a like, follow, ask questions so that she knows that you actually listen. And thank you so much for coming on to the podcast.
I enjoyed myself. Thank you for having me. This
All
was
right.
really fun.
Thank you again. And later, guys, I'll come back when I come back.